just going to do a video on this. But I chose not to do a video on this. I was going to do a YouTube video. I was ready. But I said, I always tell y'all, for conversations that are nuanced, conversations that are deeper than just a 2 to 3 minute or 2 to 5 minute type of thing, give me for the stream. If it's just a straight up news story, we could do it for YouTube. And when I say give me for the stream is because we could analyze many different things about it, right? So Lil Mosey, let me type his name in. Spelled his name wrong. Lil Mosey. Let's read the title. Rapper Lil Mosey charged with rape. He's wanted by cops in Washington. TMZ always gonna find the worst looking picture of you. And by the way, because they don't want to get sued and shit like that, they just use a fucking still from a video their photographers have recorded. That's why the pictures always look like that. Anyway, let's read this. And this is where I want everybody to start putting the thinking caps on. Let's go. By the way, I am in no way, shape, or form defending Lil Mosey. I am no way also saying he's guilty. I am a neutral arbiter of the truth, and I just want to make my mind up as the facts come along. It says Lil Mosey's in big trouble in the state of Washington. He's been charged with rape. Wow. That's a big accusation. So, and there's a warrant out for his arrest after failing to appear for a court hearing. Now, here's the thing. It looks like he was silently charged with rape, or no one knew about it, because if we're only finding out that he was charged for rape after the warrant for his non-appearance looked like he had a court case going on for rape, he didn't show up, and now it's public. So let's keep it going. The pull-up rapper was supposed to appear in court Wednesday, just weeks after he was charged with second-degree rape. Again, just prove what I said. So weeks ago, he was charged with second-degree rape. We're told Mosey never showed up, so he's now a wanted man. Rape, sexual allegations, or sexual misconduct, or even sexual assault, it's almost a career ender. It's like, it's so damaging for a guy. Because even if you're innocent, once charged, people look at you like you're guilty. I know people who, while Kodak was saying and campaigning like, hey, I should be free, people say, yo, why? He raped a girl in, like, was it North or South Carolina? Now, he was never charged. He still hasn't been charged. It's an open case. He's been, no, not charged. He hasn't been convicted. There is a case, though. But people go off a lot of, like, these sensitive topics as if the charge was the conviction. Let me just tell you why I have zero opinion on the story. And let's keep reading. This all stems from an incident back in January after a woman says she and a girlfriend went to a cabin to see Mosey, but claim they ended up getting raped by him and another man. Okay. Now, there's a lot of things that, again, there's some nuanced, and if you're familiar with hanging out with people, you can fill in the gap. It's 2 males, 2 women showing up to a cabin. First of all, that sounds hilarious already. A cabin. Why are y'all at a cabin? A cabin sounds like some shit that's where the Eskimos go kick it after they're done in the igloo. But fine, y'all in a cabin. I get it. Great. So they go to the cabin, right? 2 women, and Mosey's with another man. According to the affidavit, listen. According to the affidavit obtained by TMZ, one of the alleged victims says she consented to having sex with Mosey in a vehicle. Now, let's slow it down. One of the women said, Mosey, I'll fuck you. She consented in a vehicle. But goes on to say she blacked out afterwards in the cabin. So in the vehicle, she said, Mosey, I'm gonna fuck the shit out of you, nigga. She goes in the cabin, she blacks out. And listen, I want every detail to be very clear. She blacked out in the cabin after drinking White Claws and champagne. Chat, I want to give I don't want any of my opinions to sway anything. I want to let you know this right here. I want to give a context, though. This is Hennessy. If you look on the bottle, it says a very special cognac. Casamigos, that's a tequila. I drink those very often. If you look at a Hennessy bottle, it says 40% alcohol by volume. I hope you can see it right there, 40%. So when you see me taking this to the face every stream, some heavy shit, right? Again, you've seen me drink probably 14 to 20 shots. A shot, I forgot how much a shot is, but they're all usually mixed in the drink that I'm drinking. Now I get it. Call me fat, whatever the case is. Like I can handle, and also tolerance, like weight tolerance, that matters. Now, again, I'm not here sticking up for nobody. I'm gonna be very honest, but I read every story and I don't take it on face value. So White Claws. If you don't know, this is a drink. I got introduced to this drink by some white girls. White girls tell me this shit. They say, like, I got a full bar down here where I live at. Full on bar, like, big as hell. I got Henny. I got everything you could possibly think of drinking. Like, we got some, what's that shit called? I forgot the name of it. The shit you can hit the bottle and it makes a sound. Like, that's what everybody be, like, the cloud chasers be drinking. But I just showed you what Henny is. White Claws, 5% alcohol by volume. Compared to Hennessy. Now, again, I don't know no one's tolerance. I don't know no one's weight. It could be very skinny. Who knows? I'm just saying, this is what this person's saying. After White Claws and basically champagne, which, by the way, champagne usually has, I don't know, you could name any champagne, probably has around or a little bit more the same amount of alcohol content. But they're saying they blacked out. Now, the only reason I bring that up is that it's easier to black out off Hennessy, which is heavy with alcohol, because when that shit hits you, it's too late. But I'm not gonna rule out some of these things because they might creep up on you. So really, I'm neutral in this. But it's interesting that I'm hearing that, according to the affidavit, one of them said, yo, they'll fuck Mosey, but goes on to say they go in the cabin, they start drinking White Claws and champagne, kind of light, but who knows, they could have had 20 of them, right? She claims a short time after Mosey, she claims a short time after Mosey got on top of her, was pushing her legs up and apart while he was having sex with her. Now, let me tell you the nuance about this situation. So the same girl who told Mosey in the car, I'm gonna fuck the shit out of you, nigga. That's the consent she gave. That consent is thereby invalid because she's now, quote unquote, blacked out. She drunk a couple White Claws and champagne. Is invalid. So she told you earlier she gonna suck the fucking nut out of your dick. But now she's drunk. That matters, doesn't matter anymore. Okay? And that's really the law of the land. That's how it goes. So she's saying, yeah, I told him he could fuck me, but then I got too drunk. Then he was fucking me, and I didn't want that to happen. So she says she wakes up, and he's pushing her legs up and apart while having sex with her. She said, look, she said she recalled having pain in her leg muscles while Mosey was pushing her legs. Here's the thing. It's interesting, but hey, this is the case. She said she blacked out again. This is a double whammy. So she blacked out once. She wakes up. She's getting fucked by Mosey, even though before she was telling him he could fuck her. But she wakes up. She was like, oh, shit, what the fuck is Mosey fucking me? What the fuck? She said she blacks out again. And then she woke up a second time to find another man fucking the shit out of her. In the affidavit, the woman said that she suffered injuries, including bruising on her arm, neck, and inner knee. She also claims she got a message from one of the people at the party that said the guys were talking about training two girls. If convicted, Mosey faces a sentence of life in prison. Apologize for the sniffling if you hear it. My nose stuffed up for whatever reason. Might have to clear it. The interesting thing about this is that, and I don't know about this woman's case, so I can't speak about it. For all we know, everything that she said is accurate, and everything that the police are investigating is legit. But I know many women who, in hindsight, have changed what consent meant. They're down to fuck. Then if they hear later that y'all were planning and y'all were planning to train two girls, or y'all was planning to switch, y'all was planning to have an orgy, different now. Because now they're like, oh, you think I'm a hoe? Well, whoa, I didn't want to do all that. The fuck you thinking? I'm just saying. I don't know if Mosey's innocent or guilty, and I'm here to cast no aspersion either way. I'm here to kind of just look at what's being reported, and this is being reported by TMZ, and I said, interesting. I think what the takeaway is to be very careful. This story doesn't say if Mosey was also inebriated just like the woman. This is why it's so scary in the United States. A girl says, yo, tonight I'm going to fuck the shit out of you. Y'all party in this and third. Y'all go drink. You drinking, she drinking. She blacks out. You hella lit. Y'all have sex. Now, you might have been almost damn near blacked out as well. You raped her. She didn't give consent. Somebody said drunk people can't consent. I agree. But it gets very fishy. Like, imagine both of them was like, again, I'm just looking at details here. This is really not about Mosey. I don't really know about too much of his situation. I'm just reading what I saw here. And it kind of piqued my interest when I saw that in the story, it said that she's admitting to say, before I got drunk, I told him we're going to fuck. Then we got drunk and we fucked. And I'm like, hold up, nigga. This is almost like a warning. Y'all better not have sex with no woman while she's drinking at all. Sukasa say, oh, you probably did that, fam. Get him out of here. Maybe he did. I don't know. Somebody say he's not even of drinking, legal drinking age. Oh. Y'all think that played a part into it? Somebody said she told him to run a train on her. Somebody said stop inviting strangers to the crib. Somebody said, act, you're wildin'. That nigga's a rapist. Somebody said, nah, act, those are groupies. Somebody said, Pretty Flower says, yo, intoxicated isn't consent. Pretty Flower, what I'm reading here, it said that, and really, this is my only angle even bringing this up. It looked like she gave consent prior to her getting drunk, right? That's what it seems. However, it is a gut call. Like, I've been around two people who drank together, and one person, they didn't do anything, but one person didn't know the other person blacked out. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, look here. This is all I'm saying. According to the affidavit, one of the alleged victims says she consented to having sex in a vehicle. Right? So she said, it's cool, we're going to have sex. Then she blacks out. When she blacks out, consent is null and void. I'm just showing you, it's one of those like really like those situations where like you're hoping you never get into, where like a girl says, yo, you could fuck me, and you're 3 strokes in and you about to deliver that 4th stroke, and she said, stop, and you go through with the stroke, and she said, oh, that was rape. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. It's like, it's how iffy and funny these situations are. It's almost like every stroke you gotta be like, yo, can I get another stroke? I bet. Let's go. Another stroke. I'm good for another one? I bet. Let's go. One more? You almost gotta get consent stroke by stroke. Somebody say you gotta record. Nigga, record that shit. They call that shit revenge porn or some shit like that. Somebody said act. That's not even the point. I'm not fucking no drunk chick. That's a good point. Let me ask y'all a question. Do you think if y'all drink, if y'all are around a woman and she's drinking, should you just chalk it up as an L to say, who knows her body and her mental state? Who knows if she's blacked out? And by the way, there's mad people who are blacked out who could still move around. Like, blacked out don't mean like you're fucking just unconscious. If someone is drinking period with you and they're a woman, do you just say, I can't have sex with them because they're compromised? Do you get what I mean? Is it to the point where if a woman ain't sober, no fucking? She gotta be sober to get fucked. Grand Wizard said, if she ain't sober, I ain't with it. So Grand Wizard, you saying a chick, your high school crush call your phone up and say, yo, I'm horny as shit. Come fuck the shit out of me. What are you gonna tell her? Y'all niggas say, I ain't going to jail for no white hoe. Wait, do y'all think the girl in this story is white? I don't know if she white. Y'all think she white? Somebody said, I'm going to record that shit. I keep telling y'all, if y'all record it, that's called revenge porn. That's another charge. Somebody said, definitely Caucasian. Mosey only mess with white chicks. How you know? Ain't Mosey like half black? Somebody said, nah, he not half black. He like 5%. Somebody said, act. Bro, we know what's up. She agreed to sex with Mosey, not his friend. She was drunk. She got raped. She didn't consent to a trade. Gemini, I'm glad you brought up that point. Good point. So do you think that, okay, cool. So she consented to Mosey fucking her, not Mosey's friend. What probably happened is, so 2 on 2. Those 2 girls, 2 niggas. The friend fucked the other girl, maybe, I don't know. And then Mosey fucked her, and then the nigga looked at Mosey and said, Mosey, switch. The girl wakes up, looks like, who the fuck is this fucking me? Said, this is rape. Right? Okay, let's imagine that's how it went down. Should Mosey be charged? This is a very similar situation to the Derrick Rose thing. Derrick Rose was charged for something very similar. Where a girl said, yo, I fucked with Derrick Rose. Me and him used to fuck. And then basically she said, I pulled up to his crib and he had a whole train set up. He fucked me and then he let his man fuck and his man fuck and then his homie that just got out of prison. He let 10 niggas fuck. So I wanted to fuck only him. He let 10 other niggas fuck. And by the way, they charge, I believe, Derrick Rose with rape. I believe. Just like how they're charging Mosey. So which means even if you got the consent, if you help set up or if you help pass her along to one of your homies who she didn't want to fuck in a train, you help rape her. And maybe that's why it's second degree, because I think it says second degree. Somebody said, yo, black girls don't go to the cabin, my G. Don't let me laugh. This is not good. This is not good. Somebody said she was at a cabin, of course she white. Somebody says, you're explaining the situation wrong. Go watch 1090 Jake. He explained the situation what happened. Who's 1090 Jake? Jake Paul got some situation like that too going on. You talking about Jake Paul? I'll go to the thing. 1090 Jake. Is this a YouTube channel? Oh, okay. It's a YouTube channel. Yo, every day I find out new YouTube channels. This is ridiculous. Listen. My bad. I don't got whatever y'all like.
Man, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of
I ain't gonna lie. This nigga look like he been in this situation before, so I'm gonna listen to him.
EOS. It's 1090 Jake, man. I'm rocking with y'all and y'all rocking with me. And for this video, we're gonna be speaking on Lil Mosey, who got world in 2017 and has a warrant out for his arrest and faces the possibility of life in state prison for some serious accusations. Back in January of 2020, detectives made contact with the friend of the woman Lil Mosey is accused of raping. She told him there was a cabin party in Randall, Washington, and she had received a text from her friend about the...
This thing said cabin party? Like, what the fuck? This is white people shit. You're right. Maybe I should stay my black ass out of white people shit. This sounds like some white people shit right here, man. This is some white people shit right here. Ain't no way a chick gonna catch Boosie lacking at the cabin. Y'all think Boosie gonna get caught lacking at a cabin, nigga? Huh? Boosie not going to no cabin. Like, let's keep it trill. Boosie? He not going to no cabin. But all right, let's go. And by the way, that's the Boston accent. I got that right.
Party, so the two decided to go. They arrived seeing several people they didn't know, so they kept to themselves throughout the night, and at whichever point someone brought White Claws and champagne, so the two began to drink. She said she didn't remember much after drinking the champagne, but she remembers walking upstairs and entering a bedroom in her bra and underwear, and someone saying there's a video of her having sex. She claims there were a lot of boys in the room, and that she grabbed her friend, the one Mosey allegedly raped, to leave. Detectives made contact with the victim, and at that point, it was noted the woman had no specific memory of a rape taking place. When they got in their vehicle, Lil Mosey got in the car and pulled his pants down, and the woman claims this is where her memory gets fuzzy. The next thing she remembered is being in the cabin with guys on her, and CISCO, later identified by police as Francisco Prater, saying, wake up, suck this dick, bitch." The woman admitted to having consensual sex with Mosey in the car, but not with CISCO. And she clearly remembered CISCO being on top of her and her eyesight being hazy. She said he had his dick out, and she remembered pulling it out of her because it hurt. At one point, she opened her eyes seeing two dicks and said she watched it come out of her like she was pulling it out. Then one of them attempted to force their dick inside of her mouth. She later received a message from one of the people at the party that said the guys were talking about training two girls, and she found herself with injuries she couldn't explain, like bruising on her neck, arm, and inner knees. About a month later, the victim contacted detectives with more details from that night. She remembered being carried by CISCO at the top of the stairs in the cabin and hitting her head on something before being laid down in bed and blacking out. When she woke up, MOSEY was already in her room and got on top of her, pushing her legs apart while having sex with her. She remembered the pain in her leg muscles from him pushing. She blacked out again and woke up to CISCO forcing himself inside of her as MOSEY left the room to go downstairs. Now, these charges were filed in court earlier this month, even though the incident took place in January of last year, and a hearing was scheduled for the 21st in which MOSEY didn't show, resulting in a warrant for his arrest on charges of second-degree rape and $50,000 in fines. Both him and his co-defendant CISCO have been charged in the case and face up to a life sentence in Washington State Prison. At this time, neither of them have turned themselves in, and MOSEY has deleted everything off his Instagram, while CISCO turned.
Man, oh man. I mean, chat, it's about what I explained. It's like, she said she was cool with fucking one guy. Then she wakes up and remembers getting fucked by another guy. Let me look up what second degree rape means. Hold on. Second degree rape, Washington. Let me see what that means. Persons guilty of second degree rape when under circumstances not constituting rape in the first degree, the person engages in a sexual intercourse with another person by A, forcible compulsion, or B, when a victim is incapable of consent by reason of being physically helpless or mentally incapacitated. So essentially, he's charged with rape because it doesn't matter if she consented to fuck him, she was drunk. And if she blacked out, and obviously the police, I would imagine, have done their due diligence that show that she was inebriated. And also, I could imagine that the other guy probably got a first-degree rape charge as well. I think he probably got a first degree or maybe a second degree. Wow. That's interesting. I know Kodak has a rape charge. Kodak has a rape charge as well from South Carolina. Kodak black rape charge. I'm going to see if I could get... Let me refresh my mind about this rape charge. It's in Florence. Kodak, blah, 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 blah. Actually, I don't think I want to go in too much into this. Because I know Kodak fans sent me everything about this person who allegedly claimed that he raped them. And it was a very interesting situation. I don't want to do victim shaming or anything like that, so I want to stay away from it. According to the reports from the state, the charges stem from an attack. This is Kodak they're talking about. That took place after a hotel after the 2016 show in Florence. Kodak Black was arrested in February of that year, but let out $100,000 bond. The victim did not immediately report her assault. Said she told a school nurse who reported the attack to a school officer that relayed the account to law enforcement. Black has cooperated with the investigation, submitting swabs for the rape kit. In an interview, blah, 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 they confirmed the victim was not a minor at the time of the attack, and the court was slowly but steadily moving towards a disposition if convicted, blah, blah, blah. Okay, didn't say much. I don't know. If you ask me, I think it would be very hard for them to prove that MOSEY raped her. And if I'm thinking what MOSEY's lawyers are gonna say, bro, by our own admission, she consented to having sex with MOSEY. Now y'all have to prove that she was indeed actually blacked out when she was having sex with MOSEY. Anything that happened afterwards, unless MOSEY facilitated, right? Like it would be a crime if MOSEY literally, like, you know how some niggas be. Again, we're into very muddy gray area territory. Like, you ever heard niggas be like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna fuck the girl," like you just come in the room, like type shit? You ever heard that? That there, you're facilitating rape, so you're gonna get charged too. So even if she said, "I'm gonna fuck you," and like say she starts fucking you, and even say she don't know what's going on, I just say no alcohol involved. It's just mad dark. She's fucking the shit out of you, right? She wants to fuck you, and in the middle you kind of stop and you signal to your homie like, "Yo, you come in and we gonna swap." He comes in, he ends up fucking her. She doesn't know the difference. The lights cut on. She looks at him like, "What the fuck? You're not the person I wanted to fuck." That person raped her, number one. But number two, you facilitated that shit. You know what I mean? The Washington court quashed it. Chat, I'm just giving possible examples. I don't know why like this situation's a thing. Help me understand why MOSEY's charged for rape then. Because just on face value, it seemed like she wanted to have sex with him. She didn't want to have sex with no one else. Right? And yes, he should have not had sex with her because she was blacked out. As soon as he seen she was blacked out, but I don't know what state he was in. As soon as he seen she was blacked out, he should not have sex with her. But even more, he should have knew, or it's clear that she didn't want to have sex with no one else. She was trying to be a part of a train. Somebody said he stood by and watched. Did he? I don't know. Somebody said if present in the commission during the commission of a crime, you'll be charged with said crime as well. Maybe that's why. I only bring that up to you, chat, because like I've been around rappers, bro. I'm gonna tell you like this, like this industry shit. Y'all be really thinking about like there's so much slimy and sleazy shit that happens that again, you know, just by even having this conversation, I might be like, "Yo, what are you talking about?" Because like I'm trying to be a little realistic with even some of the shit I've heard and seen. You get me? And nah, I haven't seen no shit like this, but I hear how rappers tell me they put their mans on to fuck. That's how a lot of these dudes do it. By the way, just the same way I told y'all way back. Remember, I used to be doing this on my YouTube video. I'm like, "Yo, listen, when y'all gonna get charged with some R. Kelly shit?" Because yo, during that clout era, there was mad rappers who were fucking 17-year-olds, 100%. And I remember the 17-year-olds coming to me like, "Hey, they." Like, it was only after they were disgruntled, though. They were fucking a nigga for months, and they'd be like, "Oh, so-and-so is fucking me, and I'm 17." And I'm like, "Yo, bro, what do you want me to do with this? You're mad because whatever situation went on with you and him, but you can't weaponize me against the rapper. Go to the cops. If you go to the cops and it's a story, I report it. But you can't come to me because that nigga didn't return your calls, that nigga got a new girl, that nigga didn't buy you something." So I've seen how certain things, like what seems to be status quo, or not status quo, but like happens a lot. And I'm gonna tell you the truth. I've never gone on tour. I've never been on like some tour bus shit. But you know what niggas tell me when they be going on that tour bus shit? They invite all the girls, or they say rapper A has a show. Rapper A has 10 homies. Rapper A gets 10 women who wants to fuck rapper A. Rapper A won't fuck 10 chicks. Sometimes rapper even have a girlfriend. He ain't gonna fuck none of them. They come on the bus, blah, blah, blah. You know what ends up happening? Rapper A pretty much just only facilitates his homies fucking the girl. Or the girls. The girls didn't show up to fuck the homies. They wanted to fuck rapper A. You get me? And it's kind of that type of, I don't even know if it's a gray area, because like a lot of times it ends up being consensual, but then when you add alcohol, you add other drugs, some of these niggas off Molly, they're off lean, they're off other things, it becomes a conversation to say, just like I'm looking at this Lil Mosey shit, just like I looked at the Derrick Rose shit, bro, Shorty was cool to fuck with you, but did you, quote unquote, end up participating in the rape by setting her up to get trained by your homies? Do you get what I mean? I hope I'm not speaking like over your head. This is a nuanced situation. I can't just be like, oh, blah, blah, this is black and white. It's not. I know a girl who I know, and I only want to call her name, and obviously I wouldn't because essentially she's the victim. She never went to the cops or nothing like that. Won't say the rapper neither. I met her. She got two, like she like a big fan of like some niggas doing the clout her. She got two rap niggas, like their sayings or whatever the case is tatted on her. So like she's all into that shit. She at every festival, blah blah. I remember when I met her and I asked her, like you just asking, trying to know people, like, and I asked her, I said, have you ever gotten a train ran on you? And she said, like, it was one of those, like, she wasn't trying to say yes, but she wasn't trying to lie. And then she was like, yo, does this count? And she was like, she basically named the situation, which is kind of very eerily similar to this. And it was basically saying, hey, she got kind of chose to kind of link up after the show at a rapper show. She ain't know none of the niggas, but her and a bunch of chicks got blah, blah chose. She got a little tipsy, blah, blah. She said the next thing she remember, it was just nigga after nigga fucking her. I'm being honest. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. In that particular situation, she looks at the whole situation and say, I put myself in the situation and I kind of knew what was going to happen all along. I knew all along that if I went when they hit me up to like kick it after the show, I was basically signing up to have sex. Like that's how she interprets it. So this is her. So she doesn't look at it like she got raped. She just looked at it like, I probably wouldn't have had sex with like some of those dudes, but like I was kind of with it. That's how she looks at it. But that's only her. Other people will look at it and be like, nigga, what are you talking about? Like, they all raped you. All them niggas. As a matter of fact, even the rapper who you came to go see. Because he was there entertaining you before to even get you comfortable that you can start fucking them other niggas. By the way, the rapper never fucked her. Ever. You know what I mean? Grant Wilson says she took accountability. And therein lies that gray area. So for her situation, and by the way, in how she explained it to me, she took a lot of accountability. She was like, yo, I knew I was going back to the bus. She even said, one of them niggas actually said, don't come back to the bus if you're on your period and you ain't trying to fuck. So she said, I knew I was going there and I was going to fuck. Right? She just says, I wasn't going to fuck all of those niggas. Which, again, this is where we start, it becomes a little nuanced because technically that could be rape. I don't know, man. Somebody says she more so just accepted it. I'm going to move on. This one is so sticky topics. There is no real and nuanced answer. I think just to wrap this up, if we're being safe, if a woman starts to drink, unless you've probably had sex with her before, and even then, you have to be a little wary. Because, again, it could even if she's fucked you before, if you fuck her in an uncomfortable place or position, you could be raping her again, or raping her, even if you had sex with her before. Let's not take sex as trivial as some people do. If a girl is saying you can fuck her, cross your T's and dot your I's. Make sure, like, as corny as it sounds, make sure she's saying, yes, fuck me. Like, don't go with the head nods. Don't go with the hand on the thigh. Not cause she rubs your fucking dick means whip it out. Like, as corny as this sounds, have her say, take your dick out and stick it in me. Like, you have to have her say all that. As corny as it sounds. Because not all the time I'm reading some of these stories and it's as black and white as this guy is holding this girl down. She's screaming, help, help. And he's just fucking forcing. Sometimes it's someone who is going through the motions because of alcohol or other drugs, and they believe the girl is giving consent, or sometimes they're going by the head nod policy. How corny is it to ask a girl, could I now have sexual intercourse with you? That seems corny. It's like, usually when you're with someone, you could tell by like the energy, all of that, right? And if you got to stop to say, hey, do you give me the right to have sex? Like, it just seems corny. But if y'all ain't on the same page, it's rape. So just be careful, and even if it's corny, just fucking ask. Just ask. That's one thing I've learned. If a girl, any girl who play around, like, be like, yo, nah, I ain't trying to fuck. Like, nah, chill. Like, anytime a girl say that, I'm good for the night. I'm good. She'll be like, yo, she can literally try to just like fucking just grab my dick and suck. I'm good. You gotta be like that. And like, anytime a chick gives you a hint of that, I'm telling you. So again, this is really just information for my fellas who have to navigate through a world like this. And yes, there are predators, and I'm hoping that you're not predators, but also you're going by what you think be normal is. Like, hey, well, if a girl wants to fuck me, like, we'll kind of have like a connection, a little energy. If she's touching certain places on me, I'm touching certain places on her, I'm kissing on her, whatever. These things happen, she's about it. But you ain't never ask her, are we fucking? Like, you gotta actually almost like just give her the paper. Are we fucking, yes or no? Do you consent, yes or no? So just be careful. Anyway. I don't even know whether to say prayers to Lil Mosey or whatever. Okay. What else we talking about? D. Johns, you're incorrect, my brother. D. Johns, you're incorrect, my brother. You said you're too grown to not know the difference. That is not the truth. There's so many different places and ways in nuance where even if a girl, quote unquote, ain't lying, that you have to make gut decisions. As I said, the safest way is to never have sex with a woman if she's ever drinking. Number one. But number two, I've seen and I've like heard of situations where one person thought the vibe was one way and the vibe was the other way. That person might have been blacked out. That person might have been drunk. That the other person didn't think they were drunk. You can't ever really know somebody else. And that's why it's best to be safe. So it's not like, it's easy to know the difference. You don't really know the difference. We're all trying to figure it out. And really the best way to figure it out is the corniest shit. Just ask him. And even if you ask him, you asking them might not even matter, because if they're intoxicated or if they're unable to give consent for whatever reason, because they're inebriated, too high, they could be off Xanax, a perk, or whatever the case is, you have to have the wherewithal to know, don't matter what they've said. I ain't gonna lie to you. I had a drunk chick one time told me, she was like, fuck me right here. It was like outside. But I knew she was way too drunk because, like, this was in college. She couldn't tell the difference. Like, I went to Rutgers University. My real name is Livingston. There was a campus called Livingston Campus as well. She couldn't even decipher the difference between my name and the campus that she lived on. To me, instant, too drunk. But you got to make that decision. Now, she's saying, fuck me, fuck me, fuck me, here. Again, I'm only giving this nuance because if you think it's just mad easy, that was, I think, mad easy. But in other situations, it might not be. And people have to make really gut calls. But really, when you look at a situation like this with Lil Mosey, I think everybody should be just very safe. Be on the side of safety. Do the most. All right? Cool. What we gonna do? What we talking about?